Tonight we're going to tie an Elk Hair Caddis. This is a great, pretty simple, high floating, easy to see caddis imitation that works well as an attractor and in really rough water. First thing we're going to start with is our hook. This is a TMC 100 in size 12. You can tie these in many sizes though. Once that's secure, you can start your thread back behind the eye. And we're working back to the hook point. Here we're going to tie in extra small copper wire. This is going to act as our rib and secure our hackle. Okay. Next, I'm going to use some superfine dubbing. This is the color tan. You can tie these in a lot of different colors. I like to wet my thread here first a little bit, just to get a little bit more grip. Start thin and work thick is the key to success here. You can always add a little bit more dubbing. You don't want to go too thick too soon. I want this dubbing to start right back where my thread is. If you can, slowly build a taper. It's tougher to see underneath all that hackle, but it does make the proportions of the fly look very nice. I'm going to add just a little bit more just to fill it out. That's too much. Okay. I'm stopping my thread about an eye length back behind the eye. Next, we're going to use some hackle. I'm using just a brown neck here. You can also use a saddle. I'm tying this in with the stem forward and the tip facing the rear. Once that's secure, you can trim that off. Okay, now here I'm going to take evenly spaced wraps with the hackle all the way back to the bend of the shank. I'm just passing the hackle from my right hand underneath to my left. Now once you reach back towards the wire, you need to make sure you have a lot of control, because we're actually going to wrap over this hackle with the wire, one full wrap, and then it's really important undo the hackle from your pliers, otherwise these will just get in the way. Now with some patience and confidence, we're going to start wrapping this forward and see how I'm working it in and out of this hackle. Otherwise you're going to end up trapping a lot of fibers. You may still end up trapping a bunch. That's okay. This can be a messy fly. The fish are not going to know the difference. That's why we put so much hackle on this, so it still floats. But this rib really is here to secure it and make it a durable fly so you can catch fish after fish. Now after reach the front, take a few wraps on top of the wire, make sure it's secure. Helicopter it off. Now you can comb out some of that hackle. You can use a bodkin or just your fingers here. I'm going to reach in and trim off the tail. Or not the tail, excuse me there. That's just the remainder of the hackle. Next we're going to use some elk hair, thus the name of the fly. You can also use deer hair, you can use a bunch of different materials. Elk is the traditional, and we're going to trim this off at the base and use this in a hair stacker and align the tips. You want to pull off all this fluff. Oh, you see it there? Careful, it is staticky, it will stick to you. This is why it's really nice to have a little trash can next to your vise. You can also use a little comb, and that'll get rid of a lot of that under fur. When I open this, it's really nice to have the butt section or the bottom of your hair stacker back towards the bend. That way your tips are already aligned and you don't have to mix them around in your hands more. I'm just going to come in with a finger there, pinch them, pull out any excess, and now I'm going to align these with the bend of the hook, align those tips, transfer that measurement to my left hand. Now here I want to take 2 to 3 loose wraps. I'm not applying pressure yet. And then I'm going to pull up, another wrap, pull down, and now I can let go. See that nice wing? And I'm going to work this thread through the hair as I work forward up to the eye. Great. Now grab your whip finish tool because we're just about done. And I prep my whip finish here. Then take these tips, hold them up, 2, 3, 4, 5 wraps. Reach in with your scissors, trim your thread. Great, now we just have to finish the head of the fly. It's really important to keep a nice angle when you're trimming this hair. So I actually mirror the angle of the eye. See how I want my scissors lined up with that same angle that's created by that down eye. I want to reach in, but I still want to maintain a head that's going to be made up of deer hair here. And it's going to overlap the eye. Make sure you rotate your vise around and trim any errant fibers. I always have a few, that's normal. Trim that. And that's your elk hair caddis. Again, you can vary this any number of ways. You can use different hair up top, you can use a different colored body, different colored hackle, different colored wire, different sizes. You know, there's infinite amount of variations you can create with this, but they're all going to work, they're all going to catch fish. Have fun with this one.